Welcome to the Complete Cobblers podcast.
Okay, welcome along to episode 10 of Complete Cobblers with me, Dave Lalor.
And me, John Rhodes.
Yeah, back at it again. Listening figures, just to mention, we pushed through the 500.
Very good.
Which was
Getting
cool.
there.
Imagine 500 people listening to us talk shite.
500 who are in therapy now. Hopefully it's the same bloke who's listened to it 500 times.
No, I know that the Joe Rogan #1 podcast in the world gets something like 20 million an episode, but he started in a garage with 10 people listening to him.
Yeah.
So,
I think he was probably a bit like where they used to go and, they buy out records. Record companies would go and buy out records for charts. He's probably doing that. He's listening to it himself. Yeah.
I don't think he needs to. Somehow. Only trouble is, if it took him 10 years to get there, we might be dead. Okay, first topic. Anything take your fancy?
Soft closed toilet seats.
Soft closed toilet seats. Go on then, that definitely wasn't one of mine.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm just thinking, once you get used to having a soft closed toilet seat, you just flick it, walk away from the toilet, go wash your hands, walk out, and all you hear is this gentle clink.
Or nothing.
Or nothing. And that's it. And you go, yeah, my job's done. I've done what a man should do, put toilet seat down. You got somebody else's house. Bang! Could I just borrow the toilet, please? Yeah, no, you can do what you need to do. And then you just flick it down like you do at home. Bang! Bang it goes. All around the house. And you're like, So then you check looking down then, check you haven't broken pan. I mean, as a father, my son has still not explained how he managed to break the toilet pan off by shutting the lid.
Yeah.
I just have this fear now of toilets and soft closed toilet seats.
Well, that'd be some serious leakage going on there.
Well, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah, and if you didn't know how to stop flush lifting the system off, and if it's in case system.
Yeah, nowadays, like ours in bathroom, it's just totally.
It's all just complete panel, being in, where is that panel you lift off to flick the. So, yeah, I just think, does anybody else have this problem? I think they're great. Middle at night, I can still do what I'm supposed to do, shut the toilet seat.
But it's when you come across a non-soft close
that
it throws you out. Yeah, well, funnily enough, weekend before last, we were at Beverley. Went to Beverley for a few days. I know you went there earlier this year, didn't you?
It turned out it was Rip and I went to.
You said it was Beverley.
I said it was, I know.
I was saying to him, the same must have gone. We were saying, John told me there's a bloke round here who'll take you on guided tours for like a fiver at Minster and that. And we're like, no, I can't find him.
Oh, no.
Wrong bloody town, you lunatic. Anyway, we went to Beverley and we were in an Airbnb. So my sister and brother-in-law, me and Mel. And there were a bathroom downstairs and a bathroom on middle floor. So that's good. Exactly that happened to me because middle floor, soft closed toilet, in same house this is, ground floor, not.
No,
oh, Jesus, what? So I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, how the hell would you have one soft closed toilet?
That is just messing with people's heads, is that?
Yeah, it totally is.
So I'm glad it's not just me that's had this thing, because I thought it was just me. No.
Well, I don't think the ladies have that problem, really, do they? It's just blokes, isn't it? Putting it down, lifting
My
it
dog, ladies put them down.
Well, they're always down, are they not?
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah. Not so much ladies I know.
We'll leave that there.
Yeah. And moving on.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next feature.
Songs we like to.
So, I don't know if you can remember last time what we were on. You picked songs to be carry out inappropriate behaviour to.
Was it?
Yeah, and we'd gone with Puppy Love and Come On Eileen. And
yeah.
Sort of, but we did have some in. So,
has anybody admitted to sending them in?
Sultans of Swing.
Oh, yeah.
Luther Vandross, Never Too Much. Tainted Love.
Yeah.
Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Aye, for the Shadows around, yeah.
But then you came with one, and I'm not entirely sure this is the correct version. Swallow You, Swallow Me, Genesis.
I might have misheard it.
Yeah, you might have done. Because And I had to look it up then. I thought, oh, yeah, I think you said Phil Collins, didn't you?
Yeah.
Genesis. Because only I could remember we could do it under School Day Segway. Remember them? What did they call them? Them happy clappers that they brought into school for a week, and they did a thing at lunchtime, and they insisted that it was voluntary, that you didn't have to go. They were like missionaries. They were
Oh, yeah, they were missionaries, yeah.
And we went, oh, let's go take this and all that. And like we were there every day giving it, follow you, follow me, leave your homes and family.
I mean, that could be after Sultans of Swing, really. Follow you, follow me.
I thought that's what you were on about when you went swallow you, swallow me. Getting the,
I mean, you could also have Wake Me Up Before You Go. A bit of, if you're lurking around the graveyard.
Oh, God. Body snatchers. So that was last week's one. So we're thinking this week. I don't know if you remember when you're getting a bit carried away. It was the first time I came up with it and asked you. So you set what was the first one you did? Can't remember now. But then you went straight on to another one. Immediately, you said songs to be an arsonist too.
All right, yeah. I think with that after the DIY one. Yeah.
You went, oh, Hammer to Fall, DIY, and then you went, songs to be an arsonist too. I was like, whoa, we only need bloody one. But I thought we could revisit your songs to be an arsonist too. You did Come On Baby Light My Fire with that.
Yeah, that's it.
So...
Like Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. That could have been inappropriate behaviour as well.
I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. We Didn't Start the Fire.
Yeah, for them in denial.
Burning Down the House.
Yeah.
And Ashes to Ashes. That's
bit about it. And one of your favourites from the 80s, Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil.
Oh, Midnight Oil, of course. Yeah.
You see, you can't remember why I remember you and Beds Are Burning, can you?
Then.
Because you bought it when we were in Coates Terrace.
Yeah.
You bought the seed single, I think,
Yeah.
And then you laid on the sofa and you put it on, and for 7 hours you listened to Beds Are Burning.
So
I think I walked in and either lobbed it off and threw it at the wall.
I wonder why I still haven't got
it. And said, is there any chance of you putting some else on the record player?
It does still sound like me, to be honest.
I don't know whether, because you were, you could be asked a lot of times, could you?
I've got a thing with all my singles collection in it, and it is not in it.
Well, it's probably still in wallet. Coast Terrace.
It's a burning. Midnight. Oh, there you go. The Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
So we went, kids were a bit younger. I mean, I bet Jacob were 15, something like that. Anyway, we went to like a Centre Parks, but it were in Wales. Or it might have been a fake Centre Parks, but with that idea.
Clanegg Flitlich.
Something like that. Anyway, so on Sunday afternoon, he says, oh, can we go watch Man United match? We're going to be live on Sky Sunday match. So we'd had a look. Yeah, we'll do that. So Mel stayed with her and I went somewhere, did something. There's that much stuff to do. Me and him went to the pub. So then we'd organised to meet him for tea later on. But by which time we'd had several beers, like absolutely Caitlin, me and Jacob, and they've stone cold sober turned up, and anyhow sits down, we orders a meal and that, and then this young couple come in and they were going to be the like gig for the night, the turn, and they were doing country music, and I'm leathered, like, shouting stuff out and all that, and he said, does anybody like Johnny Cash? And I said, well, I tell you what, we had a curry last night, and so I've got a Ring of Fire now, like, to like complete silence, and they were like, she was just looking at me like that. But they couldn't change set list, and she went, well, this is Johnny Cash and Ring of Fire. Only Johnny Cash song they had on here with it.
At least you got it right at time.
Nobody were impressed.
Nah, I can imagine.
But there you go. Okay, let's... we've set that then. So we're going to say for this week's one, we want songs to be an arsonist.
Yeah, songs to be an arsonist too.
We've given quite a few to set them on, the way there.
I want some, but like anything, don't go out and do it. Just think about it, please.
Certainly. Don't be having your beds burning. Right, okay. Topic 2, me. Okay, I'll go with one that I put on, which is self-absorbed twats in supermarkets.
See, even looking at all these that we've got on the board up here, I know that's one of yours, just because you've put so much description into it. You know, like some of mine is just says Jacob as well, and you've got self-absorbed twats in supermarkets. Tell me about what this is about, Dave, please.
Okay, well, as you can tell, it's a little gripe of mine. It tends to be, I don't know, so the amount of times it's happened to me, you're on a supermarket aisle, and somebody has taken over the left-hand side of aisle and left their trolley, usually one of them big, deep ones. Mm. And often the people, and then maybe typically a couple, man and wife, they've left trolley there, and now they're stood on the right-hand side of aisle, blocking rest of aisle, like scouring bloody thing for, bargains. And they're typically, these people are typically, bit portly. So there's absolutely no, as Billy Cudley used to say, no fucking stranger to a Mars man. And they're like blocking the whole of that aisle, and they're so intently looking at food and bargains and all that they just lose sight of the fact that they're in a supermarket and anybody else could be there. If ignorance is bliss, these twats are ecstatic. Do you know what I mean? Mm. And I thought, there's no, is it just supermarkets? But only other thing I could think of that comes close to it, I've got an electric car, just to be discussing it actually. But the amount of times I've turned onto a side street, say like this one here, you just come down, and people are walking down the middle of the road, can't hear your car, don't think what possibly could be on a road behind me at any point, and I just have to total down the road with them, just sauntering down, oblivious. Mm. But
just in their own little world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'd been to Aldi on my way just before I came here, and there was a guy on his phone talking to his wife about getting the shopping in. And he's got, pretty much like you said, he's at the side, and he's got his trolley out, halfway out, skewing it wherever. I'm in a rush. I'm after fish cakes. But I thought
shopping like a man, you know what you want.
Yeah. In four items. Don't come out without 4 items. Even if you can't remember all 4, just pick some up. You went for 4 items. That's all you've got to do. So his trolley's there, and he's leaning over into, I think it was cucumbers, leaning over there, chatting away to his missus. And his trolley's there, and I'm walking. He stopped. I didn't stop. He let go of the trolley. I hit the trolley. I walked off from the trolley. The trolley ended up somewhere in back of somebody else's legs. I'm already picking fish cakes by the time anybody else gets involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it should be. Shop like a bloke. Oh, dear. Yeah, so that's absorbed twats in supermarkets.
They're everywhere, and we can't bring it on now, but men shopping with ponytails at some point. Can we have a chat about them?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's put it on the list, men shopping with ponytails. Yeah, the only other thing that it just struck me weirdly while I was thinking about people driving electric cars and these go-lightlies blocking the aisle in Morrison's is that a lot of folk with electric cars want to just stop oil.
Yeah.
And these fat twats need to just stop ale. That's what I thought.
Stop ale, stop oil.
Just like...
Now then, that brings me on to just stop oil.
Oh, yeah.
You never see many of the go-lightlies laid down in the middle of the road, gluing themselves to the road. Because that could be a problem. I mean, just these little thin ones who are doing just stop oil and only eat vegan, like you can run over them because you don't damage bottom of your car. But one of them, you're going to ground it, aren't you?
Have you seen some videos with German police?
Oh no.
Oh, they don't mess about. So they've like super glued their hands to the floor.
Yeah.
They're screaming half at palms on the floor and just like get out of the way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm there with them. Luckily, I come across any just stop oil people try to stop me going about my way, but
no.
If they do, you will hear about it, I'm sure.
No, there's ways to do stuff in there, and it's just...
Especially when I've got a load of cordless tools in back of my car, you're not going to stop me, because there tends to be either a planer or a circular saw in there, so if you want to glue your hands to the floor, mate, that's fine.
Yeah. So there's this guy on YouTube, and he said, do stop oil. They're everywhere, he says. And going through town. And Christ, he says, there's 3 women. He says, I just don't get it. He says, they're completely covered in orange paint. And he says, but as I got nearer, I realised they were just from Liverpool. Right. Okay. So that's what time? What do you know? What time it is now?
I think if I look down the playlist, it may just be Factoids time. Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you want to lead off?
Yeah, I like this one. Buzz Lightyear's original name was Lunar Larry.
Lunar Larry. Russia has 11 time zones.
11.
It's a hell of a lot, isn't it? I mean, must be massive because the only place I've been with where you change time zones, you're still in the same country, is Australia.
Yeah.
But I think they've got three or 4.
Right. 11's a lot, but I suppose that depends which country it takes over, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably looking for another one now. His clock's got 12.
I believe France has a load, but
I don't know.
I think that's something to do with a bit like us, or colonies. Colonies
right.
got colonies all over
Yeah.
the place. But
Yeah,
I don't
because
don't quote me on that. Yeah.
Cats can't taste anything sweet.
Venus is the only planet to spin clockwise.
Right. And this one, a chef's hat has 100 pleats.
Did you know that as a chef?
I didn't know that. But my first question is that a linen cloth hat or is it a paper one?
Don't know. I know. I do. I did. I know why. Supposedly, why they put 100 bowls or plates in it.
Oh, I don't know.
Because it's supposed to represent the fact that there are 100 ways to cook an egg.
Right.
Which is stupid. I mean, when you say that, you just think, what, boiled, fried, poached, but in that you can do like sunny side up and this, it's all these.
Right.
Apparently, there's supposedly legitimately 100 ways to cook an egg, and that's why chef's hat's got 100 plates in it.
I'm not convinced I believe that.
It could be
This could be a Cobbloid or
it could be total shite.
Yeah.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone's tongue print is different.
Mm.
So a bit again, not like a fingerprint, I presume.
That fact takes some licking, doesn't it? Nurdle is the name for the blob of toothpaste on a toothbrush.
Fancy that. And it sounds like you could be having nurdle problems.
Yeah, I think I've got some problems with my nurdle at the moment.
Yeah. We better explain that. you were just thinking you might be allergic to some new toothpaste.
Yeah, I might be allergic to toothpaste, which is making my tongue swell up so it don't fit in my mouth.
The word cereal comes from a Roman goddess,
Right.
which I believe she wasn't called Vite Bix. I think she was called Ceres.
Ceres. All right.
God of the harvest.
I thought her name might have been Katerina, and she was like Special K.
Oh, Jesus. I think my Vite Bix was even worse. Right, okay. So that's Factoids done. You want to pick any other topic, John?
Right then, I'm going to have to do him because, again, yesterday and today is just there. Are we ready with the bleeping? For,
Hang on, let me remind myself.
Right.
Yeah, because I usually shoot you around about this point. Yeah, we go.
Right. Bryan Adams, Canadian
Just try that
again. Slapper.
Yeah, I think there's going to have to be some post-production
Yeah.
going on there.
I'd like to discuss Bryan Adams.
Not top of your
Yeah, he's not top of my play. Well, apparently he is top of my playlist because every time I put the radio on, he's on.
Did something happen to you in the summer of '69? Or... when you were 4? Can't remember.
Yeah, I can't quite remember now. Oh, that's when I went on Jim Will Fix It.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did I go painting with that other guy? Oh, God. Anyhow.
Can you tell what it is yet?
So what's Bryan Adams about? All right, he had one song. Apparently he didn't. He's had hundreds of songs. And every time I turn the radio on, there's this croaky, gravelly, Canadian, cock-sucking, slap-banking bastard. Just... going to the supermarket. Even like smooth relax when I'm doing my jigsaw before I go to bed on the night, listening nice and it's always awesome and pleasant. Then all of a sudden, here he comes. Bryan Adams. Whatever I
Did
do,
he
I do
also
it for
do
you.
the theme to Robin Hood?
Yeah, well, that was number one for
Forever,
3 years or
wasn't
something.
it? Yeah,
But it's
all
not
year
even
long.
just that one. And then I'll listen to something. I think, oh, that's not quite. Oh my God, it's him. So he's getting at me through all these other invasive ways. And I
Have you
just,
ever heard of a volume control or
yeah,
off button?
I suppose, yeah. But I'm filled with hatred towards him.
I can see. I'm getting that vibe
Yeah.
right from the beginning, if I'm honest.
To be fair, he's making me not want to go to Canada now. Or is it you got to Canada and nobody's heard of him?
Yeah, he's probably famous.
Have I got Bryan now? I don't know. I'm glad I've got that off my chest anyway.
It's like therapy.
Anybody else, please, if you've got a problem with Bryan Adams, please let me know.
I think you might be in the minority there. So, we're on to the next segment, which is...
It's the School Day Segway.
Okay, so I did write down a few.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to pick one of the ones I wrote down?
I think we should go with Kermit music lessons.
Okay.
And Kermit in general, because when that popped up, I just thought to myself, I can't even remember why he was called Kermit. I can see him now.
You're kidding me.
No, I can't remember why we called him Kermit.
You can't remember why he was called Kermit.
I
He was
know
about
that.
7 foot. He was the biggest bloke you've ever seen in your life.
He were a
He
big-
had a friar tuck, bald head haircut, little John Denver glasses.
Yeah.
And he spoke like, Miss Piggy. I can't remember why he was
No,
called
I can't.
Kermit.
Yeah. You just,
Jesus.
that's it now. I remembered him being big and long and gangly. I
Big,
just like,
long, gangly.
why did we call him Kermit? And now you just, because he sounded like Kermit.
Spoke, yeah. And it was because he was weird in that. So he did music lessons.
Yeah.
And it was this huge but weirdly gangly, weirdly nerdy looking man mountain who spoke like Kermit. And when I can remember when we started saying third form and first lesson with him, we used to have him in the hall,
Yeah.
And older lads, fifth form and all that, door opens and they all shout, Kermit, Kermit, where's Miss Piggy and all that. And he'd like lose his mind and run out, and he'd be like punching him and dragging him around. And the bloke were a lunatic, but yeah. He was saying that, I remember him saying he did some in the hall. I remember when we did some in the hall, well, that's something else he did. Because now music, I can remember being in a classroom with that.
Did he do religious studies or something?
He might have been that. But he did that, where in Mecca's do them balloon debates. Remember them? So pick 4 of you out and you had to pick somebody. You had to be someone. So you would say, I'm, I don't know, George Washington, or I'm,
Right.
And then you had to go around and each one of you, because it were like, the theory is the balloon's coming down and it has to keep losing weight, and the only way to do it is keep throwing somebody out. And you called them balloon debates, and you needed to be the last person. So you'd go around and you'd state your case for why you should stay in the balloon.
All right.
And then everybody else in the class voted in this round, based on what they said, who's getting thrown out of the balloon.
Vaguely remember it, but
Yeah. So I used to do that. Because I think I can remember Whitford saying he were a 5-ton rock, but he was tied to everybody else in the balloon. They'd throw me out. You're all out. Everybody else is going, I'm Winston Churchill and I've done this, that, and other. Whitford's. I'm a 10-ton rock and I'm tied to everyone else. But in the music. So I don't know what that was. That wasn't music, or it was balloon debates and all that.
In sociology,
Might
or
have been
some
general
numbo
studies
jumbo.
or some bollocks.
Yeah.
But music he did in the class, because with what you said, there were a point in third form where he said you can bring your own records in and put them on and we'll listen to them and tell us why you like it and all that.
And I do remember us all being sort of sat round, and Neil Wilson, was it? Neil Wilson, He were like, got this, and everybody looked, and I didn't even know what it was really. I obviously knew what it was describing, but I didn't know this song. And and we're all sat, and he's sat in his chair somewhere, relaxed,
Yeah.
thinking kids are all
Letting
enjoying
them
it.
put their own records.
Yeah, and we're
on.
all going up, putting his records, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's interesting." And then Neil went up, put his on, and it does me good, like it bloody well should. I'm a
wanker.
and he ran up from his seat and just grabbed it. I'm confiscating this. But the way that he went from Mr. Chill, this is a really good lesson, to I'm going to kill that little bastard in a minute.
Oh yeah, poor bloke. I mean, it were a weird combination of huge, absolutely huge.
Did
But
he have
yeah,
a tiny little head though?
It did. It was odd looking bloke. Like it were massive, but yeah, and his hair he had like a Friar bowl head haircut, didn't it? And little wire John Boy.
Yeah, I think you were.
Glasses. And this ridiculous voice coming out of biggest bloke in the world.
I think he had like size 14 feet as well.
Oh, they were huge, and it's like I put Kermit in bus duty because when you finished school and you went for a bus, it were absolute mayhem, wasn't it? They had them like
Barriers,
steel metal barriers that you all that cute, and they were just
Pure
pandemonium, wasn't it? And it didn't matter if you were lower school and you'd got out first.
You weren't getting on bus
You weren't
first.
getting on bus first, no. And they'd be teachers trying to. Now there were some teachers who could keep it a bit in order because you were frightened to death of them, but he wasn't one of them. And what people he always wore on bus duty, he'd wear this ridiculous anorak, right, all zipped up like that. And there'd be fifth formers and that, like, just dodging about. And then when he turned his head that way, they'd just grab his hood and rag. Who did that? And then everybody would be just stood there. No, nothing to do with me.
I think they also didn't have a bad habit of like chewing paper and then flicking it onto his back, so that his back would end up like some side in the dartboard.
Yeah, he was one of only. Usually, like teachers there, quite a lot of them were sadistic twats, and you were on wrong end of everything, weren't you? But
Yeah.
he didn't have a great life as a teacher there, did he?
No, I didn't know. He must have dreaded every day going in. I mean, you knew when Walsh were on bus duty because everybody just formed as an orderly
parting
queue.
of the sea.
Yeah, they were
like
just
parting of the Red Sea.
You just move apart and go, you know what? I
Yeah.
ain't challenged. And then you get the one kid who'll be like messing about. Oh, I ain't seen him coming, dancing about, and all of a sudden he's like, "Why has everybody stopped laughing at me? Why is nobody finding what I'm doing amusing?" Turn around and Walsh is like burning his hole into the back of his head.
Yeah. Let's say certain teachers walked out. Other ones, no. But yeah, weird. Anyway, although I do have some more things, we'll save them for this feature. Okay. So next topic. Right. Okay then. Well, let's go with one of yours. As you say, yours. Mine sometimes you can tell the angst as I've written them, but yours is quite brief. So let's go with Jacob's Well.
The Jacob's Well, right? Yeah.
Didn't even know he were poorly.
Yeah. He's recovered, but.
Maybe it was subconscious when my son were born. But
You called him, your baby's well. What, Jacob's well? You might have been thinking, like, I'll go for a pint then.
yeah. Mel says it's because we used to drink Jacob's Creek.
Jacob's Creek. Yeah.
Luckily, you don't listen to this podcast.
Good job. Your daughter's not called Chardonnay as well, isn't it?
There's a few of them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
go on then, Jacob's Well.
The Jacob's Well pub. Let's basically, we were supposed to be in the Central Library revising.
Yeah.
And we were in the Jacob's Well having pie and peas.
Yeah, pint piece.
50p, I think it was.
50p.
And numerous pints of finest Tetley's.
Yeah, but
could
the
have.
Tetley's were only that sort of money as well.
Yeah,
Like a quid would probably get you pint peas in a pint.
Yeah.
How good was that?
And
Proper beer
in that
as
little
well.
corner, right opposite bar, we always sit in that little horseshoe area.
And it was cracking beer. I can remember it to this
yeah.
today. But then that's when TB. Remember when we were all shit ourselves because we were a big TB epidemic, and it all centred around Jacob's Well.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when they changed. You'd know more about this, but
Yeah.
the pumps used to just totally run
Yeah.
over and go back in and run over
Yeah.
and go back in, didn't they? And then
Yeah.
Because of that, it all had to stop, didn't it? You ended up with slopped trays and
Yeah, they're called autovacs, so basically
Yeah.
whatever were pulled out just ran out the glass back in, and it got sucked back up the pipe, so there were no wastage from it.
and then they just went to them really long nozzles that only took you a couple of pulls.
Yeah, and then and that idea, and then your slop trays were just like a sealed carton. But the jerk as well, I remember when there's smoking, and landlord smoking, and he's chatting away. With fag hanging out with a long bit of ash, and it drops into and it just pulls away, and you can see it being sucked back through.
Well, that's what reminds me of the autovax thing and all that. And then when it went to supposedly you can't do anything with slops, it was the pub at Baildon there at bottom. What do they call it? Right on corner as you slip up to Baildon, it's like a triangle junction. What do they call it? Junction.
The junction.
Baildon,
It is the junction. Yeah.
So that won camera best. What did you used to call that? Dark mild.
Oh yeah.
So it won best dark mild, and it were in all camera. They had all stickers up, and it were in Camera magazine. Which, for those people a bit further afield, campaign for real ale.
Yeah.
Camera, and about 3 or 4 weeks after they'd won best dark mild, weights and measures came in, and in the dark mild they found bitter, Guinness, cider, lager, and some dark mild.
Yeah.
best bloody dark mild in region. Couldn't have tasted the same twice.
There's many stories, but the main thing was that everything went back in the dark mild, and even slops on the night from the table. Only thing if somebody had Pernod, that never went near out.
Because it stunk.
Yeah, and it infects anything.
Oh, right.
So it kill a barrel of beer. You won't be able to sell it because Pernod.
Right.
So yeah, everything
But
went back in dark mild.
Into them barrels that you're not supposed to be able to open.
No, they were the real ale ones you can get in because you tap and vent them. So you've got a vent, and then you got big stainless like sieve, and you put that in and put some filter paper in, and then a mesh over the top, and then you just fill that up and leave it overnight to settle down, drain back into the barrel, and it had a long pipe tube that had just like little holes all the way halfway up it, so it just diffused slowly without disturbing the sediment at the bottom of the barrel. So they used to do that. But then the bright beers, which were the ones that you couldn't get into because they were pressurized barrels, so you couldn't get into them.
Yeah. I seem to remember you having the biggest footprint set of stilts with padded teeth.
Yeah. They were. Jed Sugden, God bless him, he's gone now. He was my first boss at the Farmers Arms.
Yeah.
He had one made. Well, he actually got one from the brewery, which I think he gave one of the draymen a bung light.
Yeah.
And he got one.
But then he reversed engineered it.
And then he made it so that you could, and all you did, you just put it in, and it got two like levers, and you just connected against them and pushed them round. But the idea was not to damage it because they could tell when it went back.
Yeah. Hence the cloth on the teeth. And all
but you had to take the gas line off first, unscrew the gas line, and put the pressure so that the pressure would release. Because if you didn't, like some people did, you'd be tapping it thinking, this is tight coming out. And all of a sudden...
Bang. Is it an urban myth that somebody once brown bread one killed somebody trying to do that?
Probably, yeah. It would take your head off. If you were overlooking it and it came up, it'd give you a bad do, yeah. So it probably, whether it has, I don't know. I don't know the guy who did. I know a guy who nearly died from drinking line cleaning fluid, but that's a different story.
Well, there was a guy, you remember, in fact, where my missus went to school and Lyndon's first missus went to school was Fox's School of Commerce and Grammar, you know.
Oh, yeah.
QWERTY U-yacht and carrying the typewriters to school and all that. That were above a garage. So it were kind of like garage or on other street because you're going uphill all the time towards Manville and that.
Yeah.
And on one side you kind of went in to their school on a level on this road, but there were a garage underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's the shortest key rail arm installation there's ever been. These lads moved in there and they'd moved from up Cooper Lane somewhere, Westbury Tyres were called, right?
Yeah.
And they moved in there, and we put alarm in, and I think that weekend that garage blew up and took out boxes and everything. It was something to do with an oxygen bottle, but when it went fire and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the guy who were there, I suppose in some way, it might have been a blessing in disguise for him, but I believe they found him with the regulator
Yeah.
in his head.
Yeah.
So he probably died instantly, didn't
Oh,
he?
yeah. Well, all your big gas bottles that you had in cellars, you all had chains. And the amount of pubs that I used to go into to go and manage, and they'd all be just stood there wobbling. And the idea is they all had like a plastic cover over them to protect that head.
Yeah.
But a lot of them were broken off. And if that got hit at the wrong point, it'd come flying off. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, should we remind everyone where to get in touch with us?
Yeah. You can contact us via the socials. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. All the social handles are
at Cobblers Podcast. You can email us at completecobblers@gmail.com.
Or you can send us a voice note via Instagram, Facebook, or by visiting the website completecobblers.com and click Send Voice Note.
Yeah, it's easy as that. It really is. Okay, so where are we now?
We're at Cobbloid or Factoid.
Is it a factoid or is it a cobbloid?
I do. Going back to our data collection.
Oh, right, yeah. The
Unit.
central bank.
Yeah. The Cobbloid or Factoid was Adolf Hitler drew the very first sketch of what a Volkswagen Beetle should look like. So what you're going with, John, is that a factoid or a cobbloid?
Somewhere deep in my memory, I believe it is a factoid.
It is indeed. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Hitler designed the VW Beetle. I read somewhere that, and we turned it down, that in the, when the reparations after the war and all that, when it was all, Russia was splitting it up, we were, Britain were offered Volkswagen
Right.
and turned it down.
To be fair, we'd have fucked it up.
Yeah, we would have.
Yeah.
Right.
What is it with VW Golfs and transporters? We'll put that on for next week.
Okay, we'll add that. Right. Okay, so we better do this week's one.
Yeah.
So, Walt Disney banned his employees from growing moustaches.
Right. Walt Disney.
I'll leave that out there. You can't be
Yeah.
guessing now.
No, I'm not going to. No, I'm just trying to think through his characters. Did any of his characters have moustaches?
You Goofy. Didn't he have a
Goofy
had a moustache, I think.
Oh, right. So it can't be, and he was just against moustache. Right, we'll leave it there then.
And I think nowadays all his staff would have moustaches, no matter what gender though. Right, coming to the end. Have you got a joke for us?
Yeah. It's quite a long one, this, unfortunately.
Oh, is it?
So an Irishman walks into a bar in New York City, and it's not about. It's just because it's a bar, and Irishmen like beer.
We've got listeners in Ireland, don't we?
Oh yeah. And for those in Ireland, an Englishman walks into a bar and orders 3 pints of beer. He drinks each one in turn and walks out. The next night he returns and again orders 3 pints, and then again the night after and the night after. So the bartender offers to serve them consecutively so they don't go flat. The gentleman explains, "I'd rather see them all lined up before me. When I left my 2 brothers behind, we used to meet at the pub every night and have a pint together. So I feel closer to them when I come to drink my pint, and I think that they're there with these other 2 pints." And so it goes on for a year, and everybody accepts it. Comes in, he has his 3 pints. And then he comes in a few nights later, and he only orders 2 pints of beer. So the bartender puts 2 and 2 together and says, I see you didn't order a beer for one of your brothers, and, my condolences on your loss. And he says, "Oh, no, my brothers are still alive. It's just me and them. The wife have stopped drinking, so I'm just drinking for them now."
Don't try that, John.
No.
Just say it.
Yeah, I won't. I ain't got any brothers.
Okay. Right. Over to me then now, isn't it?
Aye.
What do you call a singing laptop?
A singing laptop. I don't know what you call a singing laptop.
Adele.
Dell. I was going to say Dell.
You actually went, I thought, what the hell does he know this? Yeah, okay, that would have been bad. How about then? Two whales walk into a bar. The first one says, second one says, shut up, Steve, you're pissed. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, we've crawled to the end of episode 10. Who thought we'd have got to episode 10? With 550 listens.
Very good.
So that's averaging 50 and a half
Yeah.
per episode.
So we're across the world, we're like
We've
inflicting
actually
pain on
hit
people.
countries now. We got Turkey. I can only presume it's somebody on holiday, I presume. But Turkey's, so I can't remember them now. Obviously, we've got Britain, UK, we've got Ireland. Well, in fact, the second highest is Australia.
Yeah.
North America, Canada, Spain, Portugal, Turkey.
Surprised we haven't had Nicaragua yet, because my uncle, I sent him $10 million last week, and he said he was going to listen to it.
Did he?
And he said sometime this week, he's going to transfer me back.
Yeah, he showed it
£500,000.
I think you're thinking of Nigeria and where
Is
he's a
it?
prince.
He is a prince, yeah. Prince Albert. I thought he said he were in Nicaragua. I must have got it wrong.
Wait, listen, you're worrying me that when you keep saying that. Because you get it slightly long. Dear me. The N-word Ragua. Okay. All right. Well, we've crawled to the end of another episode, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night for me.
You've been listening to the Complete Cobblers podcast. Get involved. Leave us a voice note on Messenger or Instagram, or via the website CompleteCobblers.com.